Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to come back to Green Bay unless the Packers GM is fired. Okay. Also, he said he will retire. All right, he said he would retire, but let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, share the video, check the NFL playlist out. Appreciate the love, support, gratitude. Want to make a donation? Just share the video with Cash App, CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Reading from MC Pro Football Talk, NBCSports.com. He says, so is wise Aaron Rodgers. Mucus. Michigan weather just always changing. So why is quarterback Aaron Rodgers upset with the Packers? He specifically disenchanted with one person. According to Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports, Rodgers won't return to Green Bay as long as Brian Gutekunst, I can't believe they GM, serves as the general manager. Rodgers is willing to consider Hardline's option to get what he wants, from skipping the entire offseason to holding out training camp to possibly retiring. Robinson reports, citing the unnamed sources Rodgers' camp, that a reconciliation may not be possible if the Packers GM, Brian, I can't pronounce his last name, continues to be GM. Also, Robinson reports that the team CEO, Mark Murphy, is aware of Rodgers' position on the GM. The ball's in Mark's court. The unnamed source told Robinson things fell apart, not surprisingly, when Brian, whatever his name is, GM, traded up to select quarterback Jordan Love in 2020 without first telling Rodgers. According to Robinson, Rodgers believes that the Packers intend to supplant him with Love after the 2020 season. Robinson reports Rodgers' camp has proposed a contract that would tie the two sides together for the next two seasons. The Packers have resisted. So, it's kind of multiple things. The options moving forward are simple. First, the Packers can trade Rodgers. Second, they can fire the GM. That definitely could happen. And if Rodgers is truly pushing for that, he's way out of line. Third, they can hold firm, forcing Rodgers to do something more than make vague, passive-aggressive comments, bristled when the reporters notice and interpret his words, and then act like everything is fine, even though there should be no doubt at this point that it isn't. They also could, in theory, give him a contract he wants. It seems to be too late for that. However, ultimately, Rodgers treads lightly because, in my opinion, he desperately doesn't want to be viewed as, a prima donna. All right, but that's what it is. That's where it stands at. And I don't think he got a line for one of the GM fired. He asked for a trade. They don't trade him. They get Jordan Love, excuse me. He not happy, and obviously they had no choice. They had no reservations to supplant him with Jordan Love this season. And obviously this year again they didn't take off the receiver. They didn't take a receiver in the first round, in which the receivers that went in the first round, that was supposed to go in the first round, maybe like Terrence Marshall, he slid. So they got Amari Rodgers from Clemson, and they got him a guard. So my whole thing is, to be honest, Rodgers was out of line for getting Mike McCarthy fired and not trying and all of that. What they done when they allowed him to have the organization move on from Mike McCarthy, they gave him power. They let him cry like a brat and do what he want to do, and that's like a kid being spoiled, continue to cry. And you give them what they want. Guess what? When they get older in life, they're gonna think crying is the answer. It's not. If it's dealing with, intimate relationships, dealing with relationships with coworkers, it's dealing with, just friendship relationship. Just because you cry, you don't always get what you want. And that's why you see at some point with, infants, 2, 3, whatever, when they cry, parents just let them cry. And the parents that enable them to think they got power, they continue to cater to their needs. And same thing with Aaron Rodgers. When they allowed him to get Mike McCarthy fired, they basically gave him power like an ownership, like a GM. And now he wants the GM fired over drafting the quarterback for not telling him. And he could have sat him down like, you know what? You're 34, almost 40 years old. We just want to be prepared. Same way we did with Brett Favre, You got to understand that. And, it should have been like that. But obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a different type of dude. You can tell he's a straight asshole. You could just look at them and tell. You know, some of the things where the story that Greg Jennings said that they was talking to the 49ers and Greg was coming up in the contract year and they was on the field with the 49ers and Aaron Rodgers said the 49ers should sign Greg Jennings. He one of them dudes that he's like a prodigy with no social skills. Why would you tell an opponent they should sign one of your best receivers in all season? Aaron Rodgers, you know, is a true punk. You know, probably don't have a lot of friends, got some issues with his parents. And if he can't reconcile with his parents, with his mother, at least with his mother, just let you know what type of time he on. And the owner or the CEO should have never, and it's because, you know, they supposed to be owned by the fans, but the CEO should have never allowed him to fire Mike McCarthy. Now, you allow him to fire the GM, it's over with. If there's a solution to this, if they pay the motherfucker, pay him more than you're looking for. All this stemming from, it ain't about Jordan Love. It started with Jordan Love. But right now, it's all about his money. Give him his money. Be like, you know what? I got Amari Rodgers for you from Clemson. All right. We got your cornerback, so that won't happen no more. What happened in the NFC Championship game at the end of the first half. We won't kick the field goal and get a ball back to the opposing quarterback like we did Tom Brady. Legitimately, what we are going to do, we're going to overpay you with guaranteed money. We're going to act like this never happened. We're going to move forward. It ain't like you got to deal with the GM, you know, in the offensive playroom when they putting a game plan together, or they can simply just trade him. When he going around, you've been in a job and you about finished, you tired of the job, you tell people, well, shit, I'm on my way up out of here. You know, I got to, I interview here. I'm tired of this shit, you know. It goes like that. It goes like that. And it's just, in my opinion, if, y'all want him to stay there, show him the money. If you sit here and you say we got a 2-year deal for $120 million or whatever, maybe 3-year deal, $120 million guaranteed, show him a fully guaranteed contract like Kirk Cousins got. And if he say no, then we start to think about, trading him and, playing hardball, seeing if he gonna miss football, he gonna miss games, miss training camp, miss games, and all that. But honestly, if he turned down the money, I'm not firing a GM. It's hard to get rid of a generational talent. It happened to Joe Montana. It happened to Tom Brady. If you believe Jordan Love is the guy, do so. Also, try to trade Jordan Love. Yeah, that's an option too. But I think show him the money. Other than that, try to go out there, get Julio Jones, Odell Beckham. And then if that don't work, then possibly you might have to trade him and play hardball with him. And that's just what it boiled down to, honestly. You can't continue to let him. You can't continue to let him dictate your franchise. It ain't like he bought multiple Super Bowls there like Tom Brady. Tom Brady bought what, 6, 7 Super Bowls there? They've been to 10 of them, 10 plus, whatever it may be. He still didn't have power to stay there. No matter how hard he fought, he tried to go to Robert Kraft behind, Bill Belichick back. Ultimately, he left. And he proved his point. And ultimately, Aaron Rodgers, show him the money. You give him a whole bunch of money, I guarantee you this will be fixed. I guarantee you we'll be talking about something else. They don't want to pay him, especially, let's see how much space the Packers got. Go, Pack, blow. Can't stand the Packers. Always cheating. Blow, Pack, blow. Boo. Overthecap.com. This shit is confusing. They got $2 million, so they can't pay him right now. Let's say convert most of that to a signing bonus. But to be honest, man, I would just pay him if I could. If not, at the point, if you allow him to fire him, he owns your franchise. He owns your franchise. And then, if you think about firing him already, okay, fire him. But you better have a good backup in there. And if firing him right now, where are you going to find a GM at after the draft? Any good candidates? Think about that for a minute. Where are you going to find any good candidates after the draft? Where are you going to find any good candidates? So that's my thing, man. Just honestly, just looking at it, man, I think pay Aaron Rodgers. If you can't pay him, ultimately try to get him help with Julio, Odell Beckham. If that don't work, if that legit don't work, then you know, I would just say trade him or play hardball. Simple as that. Trade him and play hardball. You know, that's the only good advice I can do, and play hardball with him. He almost 40 years old. Can he move on? There's never been a reigning MVP to switch teams. A few of them retired, but honestly, man, you know, it's hard to lose, but they've been there before in the NFL with Tom Brady, Joe Montana. We've seen it before, so I'm not really mad at it, but just pay. You could have paid him. We could have been past this. The cap went down this year. I get it. You know, I don't know, man. It's crazy, but ultimately, I think they work it out. If it's paying them somehow, getting rid of the GM, I think he'd be playing next year. Or if it's getting him some weapons, if Odell available, Julio available, and you know, obviously he got to win that second one to be even considered with Peyton Manning, John Elway. He not with them right now. Right now, he running in place of Green Bay history with Brett Favre. And what it ultimately boils down to is he chokes in NFC Championship games. You know, you do all this hot dogging. You know, he choked versus Seattle years ago. Ultimately, he got to play better. He's the LeBron James of the NFL. A guy that has all the time in the world, but he don't have that winning intangible. You're talking about throwing the football, greatest throw of football, arm strength, accuracy, all that. But, you know, what they done now is try to make winning an irrelevant spot. Make it an irrelevant stat. That's what they're doing. They trying to make winning an irrelevant stat. And it's one of the most important stats to greatness, especially to be the GOAT. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All my social media links in the description. Twitter's the fastest way, then Facebook, then Instagram. All that in the description. We got a Facebook group link there as well too. Check it out. And if you want to advertise your business on the channel, video request, chop it up, hit me up. Want to make a financial donation to the channel, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know if you see the comment section one time for the one time. Peace.